Hello, friends from EDL 850. I am Shay Finter, and this is my Module 1. Who am I? I am a Missouri educator of 14 years. I've spent all of it teaching middle school, grades 6 through 8. I did 3 years at a smaller rural school district where I taught high school in addition to the 6 to 8. I currently teach at Raymore Peculiar East Middle School. It is located on the southeast corner of Kansas City on the Missouri side. We have approximately 500 students in each graduating class, so I'll see approximately 300 students every semester in a varying amount of courses. I teach performance choir, and I also teach a general music class, which teaches basically the ukulele. It's a new course. I'm very excited about it. Pretty successful so far. I've been there for 10 years. I am the mother of 3 wonderful boys. Kane is my oldest, he's 9. Graham is my middle child, born on election day. We made the news when I stopped to vote after my water had broke, so that was interesting. He's now 5. Bodie is our surprise child, and he is 3. My husband and I have been married for 13 years now, and he is also an educator. He is the band director at Pleasant Hill High School. I am an avid hockey fan. I love the Kansas City Mavericks. And fresh off a brand new win today, so very excited about that. I do love sewing, crochet, cross stitch, machine arts, anything like that. I love to make gifts for family, and they seem to like it. Hopefully they're not just being nice to me. I'm very involved in my church, Belton Assembly of God. I'm on the worship team, and it's usually my job to run any of the holiday programs, like Christmas or Easter. How does my administration demonstrate knowledge of state and federal laws? I actually think that my school does a really good job of this. Every year, our teachers participate in a mandatory training that discusses important school board and state level law changes. That training comes to us via an online program, and we sit down and we listen to some presentations done kind of just really in-depth, but yet giving us great feedback on, situational changes and things like that. And then we have to take a quiz every so often to make sure that we are understanding and that we can implement that. We have to pass the quiz in order for it to be marked as complete, and we have a specific time to finish that training. When new changes happen, say mid-year or something like that, we are usually notified through our monthly professional development days, or a lot of times through email from the principal or from other administration. For example, our newest one, I'm sure all the schools are also struggling with this, is our school board has adopted a policy where we are not allowed to use the artificial scents in our classrooms. So like the Scentsies, the Glade plugins, or air fresheners, or something like that. The board decided to draft policy mid-year and said that we are not allowed to use artificial scents, that there would be a odor neutralizer that would be utilized, and that the custodians would be the ones that had access to it, and that we would just need to apply to them to use it. So what do I know about school law? To be honest, I only know about the school laws that my district has informed me of. And a lot of times it's the ones where my principal comes back and says, hey, we can't do that because of this. And I learned something new. For instance, I take my students on field trips, and sometimes we have to feed them. And it's a matter of, are we still, the child nutrition laws, are we still obeying them and whatnot? What am I going to do about the lack of knowledge I currently have about school law? Well, glad you asked. I am going to pay very close attention to this class. I really try to be honest in all my classes. I don't have a passion to be a principal. I do have a passion to be a good leader, and I do have a passion to support my leaders, my school administration, and so whatever I can do to help them. One of the reasons why I chose this particular master's degree. But if I were to work as a principal, need to devote time to sit down and study the state that I was in and the school law that had been passed. And I'm not doubting at all that it wouldn't be massive and that it would be hard to read, but I would need to find a way to work my way at least through the height of the Cliff Notes, as we used to say, the Cliff Notes version at first, and then maybe later on to make sure that I was following those laws that are there for a reason. And then I would also need time to sit down and start with my school board policy. I think the first thing would be to start with school board policy since it's the most local, the one that I'm dealing with a lot, but also to deal with the state. So, but paying close attention to this class is the first thing. And that is my last slide. So have a wonderful Sunday and thank you for watching my video.